Game 4 in the series. Currently vVv up 2-1, and it is going to be a Terran versus Zerg. Apparently they're celebrating Christmas, red and green, here on Daybreak.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, pretty easy to get a third established just because of how far the distance is between these the two players on this map. It's a two-player map. This map adopted by many tournaments way before it was actually implemented into the ladder map pool. So glad to see that Blizzard is catering more towards tournament maps rather than their various rush/macro type maps. And I'll let you intro the players here as you already got their colors and just check out their starting positions.
Alright, so Jae-Sung is starting off over here at the 1 or 2 o'clock position of Daybreak. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand side at what I'll call the 7 or 8 o'clock position, we have So-Hyung spawning as the red Terran. Terran versus Zerg once more, and this is pretty much going to be a very similar game once again, as we've seen some Terran versus Zerg matchups already. Perhaps I'm assuming he's just wishing for a good game, not a good game already, giving me a little bit of a head fake on, did I perhaps miss something absolutely huge? Jae-Sung most likely will try to go for a fast hatchery. Meanwhile, we should see a supply depot followed by a barracks, and then perhaps a gasless expand, as that has become popular as of late.
And again, we'll see whether Jae-Sung, I imagine he will be going for a third base pretty early, though, as we do see the middle racks here going down for So-Hyung. We'll see whether he adds a second. The second SCV is coming, and Jae-Sung is going to be sending his drone across the field. He's not going to know about this until he gets into the base, and again, there's such a long distance that drone, it's going to be another 15 seconds or so before he gets in the base, so the first rack's almost going to be done by the time the drone sees that something fishy is going on. The second racks will be completed soon after, and then just a stream of Marines will be making their way towards the natural of Jae-Sung, which is already down. We'll see whether a Rax is able to go down as well. The drone sees no Rax. A lot of times the Terran players will simply hide those Rax to try to fake early pressure, but this time there's no fake. So-Hyung is 2-Raxing in the center of the map.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen next. So-Hyung does have an SCV now wandering around. He is doing a little bit of scouting. Drone coming off. And I like how Jae-Sung immediately placed on his spawning pool after he didn't catch anything. He just wanted to be extra sure, extra careful. Here there is one Marine hanging around at the Zelnaga Tower. The drone now looking to see if he can find those barracks, and he does spot one of the barracks at the center portion right by the destructible rocks, and now he knows that it is going to be a proxy Rax play here as the drone battling it up. There is one Marine, a whole bunch of drones coming off the mineral line, and how many Marines, will it be enough Marines to really fend off this attack there? One drone does get taken down, a second drone does get taken down, SCV goes down, 3 Marines and 1 SCV now up against a whole bunch of drones, and a spine crawler being built off in the distance.
Yeah, one SCV went down, but a second one down to about half health, and I feel like Jae-Sung should try to take that down, even if at the cost of drones. Once this barracks finishes, it's going to be so difficult to really try to defend this position. This is a really tough spot for a Zerg. If he's able to get a decent surround, he can do the damage he needs, but it looks like the barracks actually positioned maybe one cube or one block too far here. I'm not sure it can actually reach that hatchery, so So-Hyung going to have to do a little bit of dancing with these Marines. Going to try to focus down that spike roller down to 57 HP. Quite a few Marines do go down there, but just not great trades for Jae-Sung. It's 22 supply to 14. So-Hyung might have won the game with this bunker completing.
Yeah, the bunker is just in position there. You can see one Marine, and now the spine crawler is uprooted, so this is going to be a little bit of an opportunity to try to attack it. The Marines have a range of 5, and down goes the Queen, so that is huge. It looks as though their eggs are just getting attacked, and all this SCV can do is just try and repair. We can perhaps see So-Hyung move over with Marines, and the damage is being dealt. SCV is constantly trying to repair it. Is it going to be enough as Zerglings making their way across the field as well? We could have a salvage on that bunker in just a moment, as a new bunker now being established and moved over to the left just a little bit. I believe there are simply enough Marines, as Zerglings now trying to catch some of those Marines in transit, unable to do so. One SCV by his lonesome self will get taken down, and Jae-Sung doing a great job of stopping this attack. Right now it is 15 SCVs versus 8 drones. Is it going to be enough is the question.
Yeah, So Hyung doing a really nice job microing these Marines, really getting the full mileage out of each of them as these slow lings just not able to catch the Marines, especially off of creep. Jason tried to counter a little bit and take down the single Marines or the duo Marines that were coming from those barracks in the center of the map, but So Hyung sort of caught them, and now if So Hyung's able to get up into the main, take down a few more drones, he already is in a great position, 30 supply to 16, forcing out just a ton of lings. Right now it is just 8 harvesters to 18, and we do see an expansion going down for So Hyung, so this pressure early on is doing a ton of damage, forcing out so many lings, so many spine crawlers, the second one just finishing, and So Hyung looks like he might just go home here, tech up a little bit, and try some sort of mid-game push that'll end the game.
Yeah, so Seo Hyung now just going back home. Is he going to lift off those barracks? Yes, he is. Those Zerglings are now going to try to race across the field. It is a 20 to 10 harvester advantage. Command center at the natural expansion needs about another 15 seconds or so. These Zerglings could try to deal some damage, but I don't believe they're going to be that effective, especially with the Marines. With so many Marines, you can just take down the Zerglings. The Zerglings are coming in a single file line, what you don't want to see. They need to group up as a ball in order to have or stand even a chance against those Marines. But the Marines now just sitting up on top of that ramp, looking pretty, as we now see Seo Hyung throwing down 3 more barracks and finally establishing his second gas.
Yeah, so Jason gonna be pretty safe here for the next minute or two, just because he has so many lings. 16 lings, 2 spine crawlers, one which is regenning HP at this point, but he has no queens out, so his macro really hurting. He's only able to really afford 1 queen at this point, trying to come out with more and more drones. He's supply blocked, already 44 to 28. And I think So Hyung, what sort of timing is he going to look for here? He's got the double tech lab. Is he just going to go for stim and combat shields, push out without any sort of tanks? It looks like that might be the case. 5 racks are done, so I imagine we'll have those double upgrades. Stim started first here, and then just a really strong Marine play. Jaesung, if he's able to afford early gas to try to get out some Banelings with a little bit of decent creep spread, could defend against this sort of push, but he's just going to have to do so many things at once. Get all of his queens up, get his drone count up, and try to get gas, speed, and Banelings. It's going to be really tough to defend.
Yeah, the production of Seo Hyung is just simply amazing right now. He's going to have 7 barracks. He's going for Marines and stim and combat shield. And that is it. He doesn't want to follow it up with anything else. Seo Hyung is still harvesting gas, even though he really doesn't need it. He could transfer those SCVs off of gas. He is going for Marauders. I take that back. So perhaps Marauders to deal with the spine crawlers. But after that, it looks like the Marines and the Marauders are just going to, hit a timing around 100 food would be my best guesstimate. Trying to utilize that harvester advantage, but not allowing your opponent to catch up. The Zerg player's in a tricky situation. If you build a large enough army to defend this attack, you're down workers. If you build enough workers to build a larger army, then you're down armies. So it seems like a lose-lose situation and a really strong advantage as Seo Hyung now takes out the center rocks.
Yeah, we talk about basically the 3 pillars of army, tech, and economy, and I think he really needs army and tech to try to defend against this. It's not going to just be a ton of lings that are able to defend here. He's going to have to either have speedlings, which just started now, or he's going to have banelings. It looks like he's going the roach route, so roaches can be pretty decent, but again, they cost gas, and in small numbers, not as great against the big bioforce that So Hyung is showing here. Stim is about to complete. Combat shield already done, so seems like those upgrades just started a moment ago, already complete, and these spine crawlers will be focused down very quickly. A few roaches are on the way. We see Jason having to pull all of his drones. Now we've got a manor mule down here, nothing that it can repair, and So Hyung just gonna go right down, knock down the front door, and take down this hatchery and win the game.
All right, yeah, so with this just large army here, not quite sure, they're dancing. All right, so Jaesung putting up vVv up 3-1 in this best of 7 series, and it really seems like as of late vVv's just been really on top of their game, either from one individual player or just as a team as a whole, coming out with new strategies, and perhaps their practice regimen has really changed because they're really good these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, they've definitely been on a roll. I'm glad you mentioned that. Hasu a week or 2 ago did very well with the all kill, and then Rockers had some great weeks where he's taking down 2 or 3 players. Dasuki obviously took that first map in impressive fashion, and So Hyung, a player that actually hasn't gotten to play as much just because of the success of other players, but that was a really strong early tactic there with the two racks. The bunker play was not defended so well by Jaesung, and now another Zerg player up against So Hyung, and we'll see. I imagine he won't be going for that early cheese type tactic. He might be playing more of a macro game, but already NRG down to their last player, and vVv left with 3 men standing.